Hi everyone. So in today's reading, I thought we could do a then versus now. So whoever is on your mind, romantic or otherwise, what did they believe or understand about you in the past, and what do they understand about you now? So I'm not so much just looking at how they see you, but really having a look to see, is there anything that they misunderstood, any misconceptions that they held about you? Do they see things more clearly now? Maybe they understood everything perfectly and their feelings, thoughts, what they understand are exactly the same. But let's have a look and see. So, okay, let's start with then. So the person on your mind, as far as they were concerned, what did they understand about you in the past? So this can be when you first met. If you haven't spoken in a while, it can be how they felt about you up until the time you last saw each other. Okay, Four of Pentacles. The first thing I'm getting is you're hard to read, and they may have felt that they didn't understand or know too much about you. So maybe they felt that they understood that you were kind of guarded or closed off or self-protective. They felt that there was a lot going on in your life and about you that they weren't privy to, and they were never going to know about unless you decided you wanted them to know. You see how the cat is escaping through the window? It's almost like they would expect you to go through the door, so they're focusing on the door, they're on the other side of the door thinking, when are you coming out? And you've gone out the window, and then they eventually realise, I've been standing here waiting and you've gone out, you're doing your business, I don't know where you've gone or what you're doing, I didn't even know you went out. It's that kind of thing. Knight of Swords. Wheel of Fortune. Oops. We've got the Queen of Wands. We've got a few that fell out here. Let's see what these are. The Moon. Yes, exactly. Coming out under the Four of Pentacles. Very mysterious. You keep your business private and you share only the things that you're happy for people to know. So in the past, they understood that you weren't someone who was ever going to be caught out and surprised by the information that was circulating about you. You know, for example, you were never going to have someone say, oh, I heard such and such, and you're going to be thinking, oh my God, I told someone, I told someone I thought I could trust, they were supposed to keep it private, because you're very careful with who you trust, and you're only sharing that information if you know for sure it will be kept secret. It's that kind of thing. No one's ever going to surprise you, basically, with anything that they know that you don't want for them to know. Okay, Five of Cups, Four of Swords reversed, Nine of Cups. Okay, so I think for many of you this is a romantic situation, but even if it's not, specifically in relation to this person in this situation, what they understand is you suffered a disappointment here. You may feel like you were let down by circumstances, the situation, the universe, by them, but you were definitely disappointed. You may even have exchanged sort of quite severe, harsh words with this person. You may have let them know how you felt in a certain moment. The Knight of Swords isn't like, in my mind, a comprehensive conversation like, say, the King of Swords, Queen of Swords. It's, I'm reacting to this moment. I'm letting you know how I feel right now. I'm not talking about the past, the future, how I feel overall. I'm just telling you I'm annoyed right now. And usually I feel that the Knight of Swords is, especially with something like the Five of Cups, disappointment, is expressing kind of anger, frustration, those kinds of things. So you may have had that kind of interaction with this person. That could even have been the last time you spoke with them, because with the Wheel of Fortune and the Four of Swords reversed, this person, again, what they understood in the past was that you didn't miss a beat. You expressed to them, I'm dissatisfied, I'm disappointed, I'm annoyed, and then bam, you moved forward. You moved your life forward. You took your power back into your own hands, and you spun the wheel. And if you have a look at this, everything pretty much is good here. So maybe they feel that you really invested yourself into a different area of your life. So if this is romance, maybe it was work. If this is work, maybe it was you moved home. It could be anything. But you really gave a lot of yourself to something else and made a success of it, because here you are, Queen of Wands, Nine of Cups. You have brought in your own wish fulfillment, but it feels like something that's very singular. You did it, in a very independent way. It's purely dependent on you and your effort, because in the past you felt that dealing with this situation or this person was a letdown, and they're kind of inferring from this that you feel like they were the weak link, because without them you're thriving. So yeah, so in the past, it's like they understood that you are very private. You think before you speak, you think maybe more than you speak. You know, if you're saying a sentence, you've already thought of 5 other sentences, so you're very careful with what you say and share. Specifically in relation to them, they understood in the past that you were disappointed or cross, and that you made a decision to move forward, and probably they've observed or heard from someone or been able to see in some way that you've made a success of whatever it was that you turned your attention to, and you're in this very independent, self-satisfied position. So I feel for many of you this could be a no contact situation actually. We've got Sagittarius, we have Pisces here. I kind of get the feeling that in the past, this is someone who maybe right at the beginning misjudged you, because with the Four of Pentacles and the Moon, this person could have felt that it wasn't that you were being careful with what you shared. You weren't being calculated with your business and your information. It was that you were shy or insecure or nervous. That's why you were in this self-protective mode. That's why with the Moon, you were kind of mysterious and hard to get to know because you were uncertain about yourself. So they may have just really, you know, thought they understood but completely misunderstood. And I think it's a reflection really of the people they're used to dealing with. And they maybe mistook people who are loud and say the first thing that comes into their mind and aren't okay with silences as being confident, and you weren't like that, so they just assumed, oh, it's because you're not confident, you're shy, you've got nothing to say for yourself, or you're uncertain about what you've got to say. Well, believe me, we're not even yet looking at how they, you know, how they see you, what they understand about you now, but even within this period in the past, they realized that they did misunderstand you. Okay, so let's put these to one side and let's see what they understand about you now. Okay. So the person in my viewer's mind, what do they understand, in their opinion, about my viewer now? Also, you know, as I've started this reading, I'm getting so hot, and I feel like my face is burning up. So I wonder if they look back at the past and what they thought they knew about you and they feel embarrassed because they treated you based on what they assumed about you, and now they feel that they came off as foolish or something like that. Oh my God, the Fool. I promise I didn't say that before before I said it. We've got Aries, Aquarius energy there. Okay, so what do they understand now? Three of Pentacles. Interesting, we had the 4, we started with 3 now. 8 of Wands reversed. Already I get the feeling that this is centered around themselves and what they want, which is kind of interesting because that wasn't my intention, but we'll go with whatever comes up. So it's almost like they're saying, now I understand that I want to work with you. Whereas in the past, maybe initially I thought you didn't have much to give. And then I quickly realised I was mistaken, but by then it was too late. You'd already told me off and gone on your way, or something like that. Okay, so let's keep going. What do they understand about you now? Ace of Cups reversed. This is all about a missed opportunity, a desire to reconnect, a desire to speak with you, to team up with you, whether we're talking about a relationship that's romantic, a work connection, a friendship, whatever it is. Yeah, the Empress reversed. Wow. Okay, Taurus, Libra energy there. I'm finding it really hard to move these cards about on the table today. So yeah, I just feel that they understand that they're not going to be able to coerce you into opening up to them or speaking with them or teaming up with them. That you're quite, you know, that you're this strong person, and if you decide something, that's what it is. You're fixed. Five of Wands. Okay, they understand that many people do see your value, even if they didn't understand it completely at the start. And many people are lining up to team up with you, to be in your life, to co-create with you, to have some sort of role, position next to you. Okay, excuse me. Six of Cups, yep. Oh wow, maybe they understand, again, all from their perspective, you might agree or disagree, but that there's a deep soul connection here, maybe even a past life connection. They feel very much that you could feel very comfortable and at home with one another. And these are all things that they want to tell you now. It's such a turnaround. You know, I really feel like in the past, when they first met you, they sort of almost dismissed you, maybe thought it was okay and fine to, I don't know, talk to you casually, have a bit of fun, flirt, if it's a romantic situation. I don't know what, you know, just something that entertained them, basically. And then you'd stepped away. And then that's when they watched you from a distance or understood something from a distance and saw your value. And now it's like this person is doing everything they can to think about a way to be as close to you as possible, to invest as much as they possibly could. It's such a, yeah, they've done a complete 180 here. A High Priestess reversed, Pisces. And we have the, oh my God, the Six of Cups and the Lovers. Got the Lovers reversed though. We've got Gemini energy there. They are really wondering if a decision has been made that can never be undone, basically. I would say they're kicking themselves, that's for sure. The Empress, the Lovers, they feel that they had a chance to have so much abundance here and success with you. You know, we've got 4 queens, 1 empress, 4 kings, 1 emperor. So to see you as an empress, they really feel that you are irreplaceable. But they're wondering, is there anything that can be done at this point? Are you still emotionally open to them or not? I don't yet feel they've tried. So if this is a work contact, I don't think they've sent that email to you or made that phone call. If it's a past romantic situation, I don't think they've sent you that message or phoned or whatever. But this is what they're wondering. Is it much too late? And do you remember we had the 5 of Cups showing your disappointment in them? And now we have the 6 of Cups. So for some of you, they could even be seeing or wondering, have you met someone who was a great fit? Have you teamed up with somebody else? You know, pulled yourself out of that 5 of Cups disappointment into that connection of the 6 of Cups. Okay, let's have a look here. Let's have a look at this 5 of Wands. Knight of Pentacles and the 6 of Wands. Yeah, and look at this wolf just sort of with its head down. You know, it's reminding me of a dog that's kind of fed up. It's a bit bored. It wants to go for a walk, but, you know, its owner's busy for now and it's got to wait or something like that. It's just like... So they're sort of thinking, okay, what can I do here? 6 of Wands, I want success. 5 of Wands to the 6 of Wands. I don't want to be an option. I want to be the only option. I want to be the one that you choose. But it feels almost quite inactive with the moon again. Maybe there's confusion. They're not sure. They don't know how you feel, where you stand, what the best approach is. Let's look at the 8 of Wands reversed. Seven of Pentacles. See, yeah, it's a sort of energy of I don't want to rush. I would rather take my time, consider all of my options, see everything there is to see, plan correctly. I don't think they want to repeat the mistake in the past of making a snap decision about you and finding out it was completely wrong. I do almost feel though in this moment they're being a bit too slow, a bit too careful. Yeah, Queen of Wands reversed. The Chariot, Cancer there. It's like, have you given all of that fire, passion, warmth to someone else or to something else? Have you just completely moved on and that's it? Basically, that's what I keep coming back to. In this present moment, what they understand is they feel they missed an opportunity. They want another one. They have no idea if they will get that chance, and they really feel that maybe you've moved on and that's it, it's done. So it's interesting because, as I said at the start, my intention was then versus now. But when we looked at then, we saw within that whole space that they had a realization, that they saw you more clearly. And since that point, so let's say that was the last time you spoke, whenever that was, from then until now, whenever you're watching this reading, this person has been thinking, how do I get back in to your good books here? How do I get the chance with you? How do I repropose whatever it was you suggested in the past that I wasn't interested in? So it's almost like in the present, they haven't had any new revelations or understood anything new. They've just continued to see in this empowered energy that's very attractive, very abundant, and they've been saying, okay, well, what can I do here? How do we reconnect? Also, you know, if specifically if this is a romantic situation, they find you to be incredibly physically attractive as well. I wonder if, you know, I wonder if it's something also quite silly, like the first time you saw them, you were wearing loungewear or something, and the next time that they saw you, you were dressed up to go out, and it blew their mind or something like that. And because I'm thinking Four of Pentacles is almost hiding away or covering yourself, and then the Queen of Wands would be, I'm wearing my best outfit, I know I look good, I'm feeling good, and I'm going out, you know, into the world. So that could have taken them by surprise as well. Okay, let's have a look at this Lovers reverse, because this is something that feels quite final. Like a decision has been made, it's changed how I think, feel, possibly changed my life, and it's done. The Sun reversed, Leo. You know, I get the feeling that they're like 90% sure it's too late, but with the Sun reversed, they're saying, but there's that 10% I can't see clearly. What if? You know, and you might be watching this thinking, yeah, there is still a chance, or maybe you're thinking, nope, I've moved on, but there's just that tiny bit of hope they have. They, you know, that they could have another go here. Yeah, look, 10 of Swords, but it's reversed. For me, when I see like 10 of Wands, 10 of Swords reversed, I feel like it's a delay, like, you know, the 10 of Wands, 10 of Swords, an ending to a painful or heavy situation. But when the card is reversed, that ending is just dragging on. We're not calling it quits. This person is pretty convinced it's done, but they're like, oh, I don't know. So I'm staying in this difficult space of hoping, kind of thinking to hope is stupid, but not being able to let go. So they haven't had closure. They haven't closed the door on this. They haven't given up hope of teaming up with you in whichever sense that is. 2 of Swords reversed on the back. They would love to know. They want clarity. The thing is, I don't see them necessarily, at least at this moment, stepping forward to ask, because I think if they did and they found out that that 90% was correct, that it's done, I think it would be devastating for them. Let's get one more. Oh, 10 of Wands upright. Okay. See, this is the thing. The Wands are about action, and that is in the upright. The Swords, the mind, that's in the reverse. So it's like the mind continues to run and run and run and think over the pain, the mistakes, the regrets, the new understandings they have, maybe the last conversation you had, whereas the action has stopped. That's a pretty useless combination, in that if they're looking for an answer, they need to be acting as well as thinking. So this is someone who's doing a lot of thinking about you. A lot of the thoughts they're having are painful, but not doing anything. Okay, so really interesting. Their understanding now is the same as the tail end, I would say, of the last major interaction you had with them. And I think for a long time, for some of you, they've just been watching and regretting and thinking about how to reconnect with you again. Okay, so before we go, let me just pull literally just a few cards of guidance and advice for you if you're looking for it. Guidance and advice for my viewer, please. Okay, here we go. Wow. Okay, Knight of Pentacles is reversed, which is doing absolutely nothing whatsoever. 9 of Wands reversed. It's not for you. It's not your fight anymore, is what I'm hearing. So in the past, maybe you felt that you were fighting and fighting to get noticed, to be heard, to be seen. You were carrying this situational connection on your own, and it's like Spirit saying, do nothing. It's not your thing to fight for anymore. You don't have to take any action. 5 of Cups reversed. Just keep focusing on connections that are mutually satisfying, giving, that make you feel happy. So whether, you know, friendships, romantic, I don't know, whatever it is, focus on the people who are showing up equally. And if that happens to be this person in the future because they decide to take action, great, you know. If not, you know, Spirit's advising that you don't do anything here. Now, of course, this is a collective general reading, so if you feel inspired to do something, do it, of course. But what I'm seeing, the overall guidance here for the collective is you've done enough, to be honest. And the message would be to only basically give as much as you're receiving. And if that's nothing from this person, give nothing. If they show up and they're giving a lot and you want to give a lot, great. But it's about balance now. And it's about focusing not on the disappointment you felt with this person, but on those connections that feel like they're raising you up, you know, that make you feel hopeful and seen and appreciated. Okay. And look, it's so interesting. We've got pentacles, wands, and cups. We have no swords. There needs to be some communication here. And I just feel like Spirit's saying it's got to come from this person. Whether it's because you've done enough, whether maybe it's because if you reach out, it's just going to reinitiate a past cycle. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to leave it here. But thank you so much for watching. I hope it resonated. I hope it helped. And I'll see you soon. Bye.